If you're trading TQQ because you think it's the strongest leveraged ETF out there, you're wrong. In fact, one leveraged ETF has actually outperformed TQQQ over the past 10 years. Most traders never see it because they're too busy watching only one ticker. And that's the real TQQ trap. After 20 years of trading and building the Autopilot Trading System, I learned something important. The traders who stay flexible find the best opportunities. And today, I'm going to show you the 7 leveraged ETFs I watch so I can spot more opportunities instead of just waiting around for TQQQ. And make sure you stay until the end because the last ETF on this list may be the meanest dog in the junkyard. Let's go to the charts. That's right, watching TQQ may in fact be hurting your trades. It gets some great moves in, significant moves. However, there's only about 4 to 6 major moves every year. And while they may run a lot, what do you do when TQQ is doing something like that and in the meat grinder? Clearly, having an alternate list or an additional list of leveraged ETFs could help you, one, keep your money working. This is no promise of return or anything, but keep your money working. And as long as you're following a system like the Autopilot Trading System, you'll be placing your trades when it makes the most sense. So on TQQ, what kind of runs does it in fact get? Well, in the latest one, if you check out here, so far in this run, it's up about 100%. This is just since April of this year. What about the one back in 2025? Oh, that's a big move also, about 250%. So without a doubt, TQQQ has performed since it was its inception in 2000, I think it was 2011. Well, TQQ, when it gets stuck like this, what am I going to trade? Well, that takes us to our first leverage ETF that, believe it or not, from a swing trading perspective, has performed almost as well as TQQQ. And what do you think it is? It's TNA, the 3-time leveraged ETF of the Russell or IWM. And it's also, from inception, while not haven't done as well as TQQ, it still gets very powerful moves. This move here, same time period, up 71%. From the same March timeframe of last year, up 182%. If you count that little pullback, it actually got as high as 235%. So are you trading TNA as a stand-in for TQQQ? Something that you may want to get on your list. Next up, FAS. That is a 3-time leverage ETF for the financials, which is XLF. That's the underline. And how is it done over the same amount of time? Clearly, it is a lagger, but it still gives you opportunities about the same time frame last year, up 91%. This year so far, up, lagging, but up still 37%. I dare you to find some stocks that are doing the same type of thing. The last one in this category, it's not the last leverage ETF we're going to cover, folks, but the last one we'll talk about that is in the sectors is LABU. This is a leverage ETF of the Biotechs. Similar type situation going back to April of last year. It did a run of 508%. Not too bad for just a biotech leverage ETF. And as you can see, it went almost straight up. So is that something you would want to have on your list? I know I certainly want to have it on my list. What about this last recent run this past year? Well, only 57% to the upside. And remember, hang around because you're going to find out which of the leverage ETF actually beat the snot out of TQQQ. Hey, if you're a busy person and you want green light setups sent straight to your email every week just for leverage ETF so you can stop guessing and follow a clear plan, check out the Autopilot Trading Leverage ETF service. The link is in the description, or you can go to autopilottraders.com/leverage dash ETFs to see how it works. Now let's get on to the next one of the leverage ETFs. I make a jump at this point and start looking at the stock leverage ETFs. That's right. There are some stock ETFs that I love to follow, and they've done very well for me in the past. And the first one I want to take a look at is NVDL. When you see a big split like that, there was typically a split, and that's exactly what happened. So our chart goes back to 2023. What type of moves has NVDL made? Again, going back to that same time in April of last year, we did an initial run, 300%, all the way up to the high, 412%. What about this recent, about 7 weeks worth of effort? So far, the run has been 77%. So having a stable stock leverage ETF is also a really great idea. My next leverage ETF that I like to trade, it comes from, of course, Elon Musk and TSLL. Now, since its inception, it actually has shown a negative return, but along the way, there has been many, many opportunities to trade this to the upside. Going back, same time frame, early April, first move, 168%. Then it sets up again. Next move, 146%. And on this latest move, we see here in 2026, which we got into with the autopilot traders, up 72%. That is, 72%. So that's going back to April of last year. We've had 3 moves over close to 72 or better. Think about what that would do to your compounding for your individual portfolio. And of course, this isn't a promise of potential return. I am measuring from the total run. And in reality, we're not going to capture the total run. But what happens if we can only carve out the middle section of that? Would that be something that would be worth watching? I know it is in my portfolio. I was absolutely shocked to see this next leverage ETF added to the list, but it doesn't follow a stock per se, but it is the two-time leverage of Bitcoin. Again, a little bit of similar pattern to the Tesla stock, but if you go back in time, it's on a slightly different time frame. Go back to March of last year, or early part of April. What kind of run did it get? Had a really quick run up within 98 days or 15 weeks, 135%. Then it went into a downtrend. Just recently reversed down here and has already run up 61%. This is another one of the leverage ETFs that we are trading with Autopilot Trader. And if we go back to 2024 in September, what was that run? Yeah, a quick 248%. Again, while we can't foretell the future, we know that there is opportunities available. Notice about BITX is that we're early in the longer term move. The longer term momentums have just shifted up. And so BITX may provide some potential for some really strong upside. Now, what about that last stock? Or is it a leverage ETF? Is it an index or is it a sector? Let's find out. The last entity that we'll take a look at really quickly is, and check out that beautiful technical analysis pattern is SOXL. That's right. SOXL has beat TQQQ and its performance over the past 10 years. Well, what makes it so special? It follows the tech industry and all that kind of stuff, provides really great flags and pullbacks. So if we go back to that same time frame of April of last year, blow this up a little bit. April of last year, what kind of run did it go on? Just up to this past high right here, 602%. Not too bad. Take it up to the next level, that would have been 896%. But what about this recent run that it's had since the last of March, just this year? 384%. Again, not trying to get the complete move. That's not possible. However, cutting out the middle section of that is more reasonable. So, how would that have compounded for you? I'll let you do the calculations. If you want to know how we get into these trades and our setups, of course, I cover them all in my book, Trade Your Way to Freedom. Yeah, at this particular time, guys, I would not be interested in trying to buy SOXL right now. I'd be looking for a pullback. Momentum is extended on the weekly chart, looking for that to roll over and then bounce. Looking for the MACD also to kind of roll over. Consolidating gains, profit taking to pull it back towards the breakout area. And I'd be looking for a potential move back up to the upside right about, I would say, $95 to $100. And it's kind of ways to drop before it gets there. Hey guys, if you're finding these kind of videos very beneficial, I post one every week. I'm going to be doing a series. This is the first in a series of videos I'm going to be doing about the leverage ETFs. The next one up is a comparison between TQQ and TNA. And then I'm also going to be doing a surprise video, my $1 million mistake and how you can avoid it. And that'll be coming up in a couple of weeks. If that sounds interesting to you, just leave a comment that says, which one do you want to see first? TQQ and TNA or my $1 million mistake? The $1 million mistake, I think, needs to be about 2 weeks from now. Okay, guys, most traders think a bigger list of tickers means more work. But in reality, actually, the opposite is true. While you're sitting there waiting for TQQ to move, you tend to get nervous. And if you get nervous, you tend to get emotional. If you get emotional, you tend to make mistakes in your trading and your eyes lie to you and you think you have a setup. You don't have a setup and you wind up losing. In just 10 minutes daily, I can go through all 7 of these leverage ETFs and know exactly when they're setting up, what type of potential it has. And what I really like it is when they get slightly out of sync with TQQQ, that gives us a secondary opportunity to get onto a trade like that. LABU is really good at that. So remember, we don't trade by feelings. We trade with a proven process. And every week, I will help you see what I'm seeing as I check out my leverage ETFs. Having the right list of tickers is only half the job. Even the best tickers, if you don't know when to buy or when to sell, you just still be guessing. That's why you need to watch this next video. I talk a little bit about the setups for both tops and bottoms. So let me know in the comments which of these 7 leverage ETFs could become your new favorite. Just leave the ticker.